There was someone in the subs Discord chatting about red-white tokens yesterday, and I was like, that deck actually got a couple of sweet additions from the D&D set. So I said I was going to be doing a ton of Historic until the new cards drop, but both you see a Pair of Goblins, as well as Den of the Bugbear, seemed like really solid upgrades to this archetype. This being a way to put more dorks into play when you don't have dorks, and a way to give them all extra attack. And then Bugbear, just like one, creature lands are great in mid-range decks like this, and two, it makes tokens when it attacks. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this. The last time we had played tokens, we played Elish Norn Transmogrify as a combo, and I went back and listened to Past Jeff, and Past Jeff concluded that the combo felt awkward and unnecessary, so we're going to try it today, just kind of this fair red-white token strategy, and see if this seems like it's good enough or if it just kind of gets picked apart by what's going on in the format. Oh yeah, the deck icon is Elish Norn, actually, because once upon a time that's what it was. Is a late start going to affect? Yeah, I'll probably start Uncharted about 1:30 or so. We'll see. We'll see how the Magic decks go. You know, one of the things people often ask are like, okay, when you're building decks, Jeff, where do you start? And the answer is, I go and look at what other people have done previously, including myself, right? Like, whenever I work on an archetype that I know I've played before, the very first thing I do is pull up my old YouTube video and skip to the wrap-up section at the end to see what I said back then after having just played the deck. Because I play a lot of things here, so it's easy to... Alright, it's got a curve. It's easy to forget what happened between then and now. Nice. Okay. This is red, then white. Hey, thanks for the tip, Blue. This is for Historic Zombies. Here's an old list that did well in old standards. Sounds good. Thank you for the support. I'll get that added in. We're going to be playing a ton of... Historic with the new cards when they drop up. Do I activate this, or do I do this and make an extra one? My mana's pretty spoken for over the next couple turns. I think I'm just going to pass. Castle Vantress could imply something more controlling, so perhaps I'm supposed to sit here and generate value with this. It's nice. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this morning. Yeah, the second dose of Pfizer hit me hard, Mana Symbol. Get some drink plenty of electrolytes. Jeskai control, hiss. And if they memory lapse this, I get to stick History of Benalia next turn, which would be nice. Okay, so now I think we Legion's Landing. Okay, and now I'm going to just activate this rather than commit more cards into a sweeper. So now we'll stick History of Benalia.
I know my response. We need to move quickly.
I plan to take a peek at the article with all of you on stream at the end when we take a look at the spoilers for the day 2. What's going on, Thopter? Thanks for the 28 months. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm not sure that we can beat Torrential Gearhulk from here. What's up, dude? How you feeling? Feeling better after a little bit of sleep? Good.
How long will our sleep in?
Just a couple hours. Maybe an hour. Not that long. You're up kind of late, though, so I'm not surprised you took a little nap.
Wait, all night?
Another Magma Opus. Wait, can they cast that? Not quite. Weird. Oh. Another... People are like, so we're gonna try a bunch of stuff after the new set drops, obviously, but I would definitely encourage people to temper expectations, for lack of a better term, because most of what's being added in this new set is stuff for creature decks, and the Jeskai control deck with Magma Opus and Gearhulk and Helix and Wrath of God, they really just... Hold on 1 second. They really just kind of stuff all these creature decks in a box. What's up, dude? This one? Oh, it's in Japanese. So it's in a different language.
It looks really cool.
It does look really cool, doesn't it? See, look, when I mouse over it, it puts it in English so I can read it.
What does it say?
It does damage to something, and I gain some life.
I
Yeah, like, Esper Sentinel, like, kinda 2-for-1's the control deck, but, like, they bury you with so many cards. Like,
The Japanese ones look pretty cool.
the Japanese ones do look cool. You're right. Like, one little 2-for-1 really isn't going to move the needle a whole lot. They can also just pay an extra mana so you don't even get to 2-for-1 them, so just like has a Thalia effect one time. Yes, it's good specifically alongside Thalia. But again, like, there's more than just white creatures being added in this set, right? So, you know, people are excited for things like slivers. We just had a donation for zombies. So, like, humans probably will be able to be built to have a decent Jeskai control matchup. But a lot of the other non-human tribal decks that people are going to be interested in trying out probably will not have a very reasonable Jeskai matchup. Alright. I am of the opinion that whenever decks like Jeskai Control are tier 1 in a Magic format, those Magic formats tend to not be good. What about Modern makes it more creature-focused than Historic? Honestly, it's powerful must-answer threats like Ragavan. Ragavan does a lot towards that. Alright, what if I just, like, play both of these and attack for 8?
Yup, you're going down.
And I've talked about this before, but I think the best part of Magic the Gathering as a game from a core rules perspective is the combat system and the number of choices you frequently get to make while interacting with your opponent inside of combat, attacking and blocking. And decks like this that literally just ignore the fact that the combat system exists in Magic are incredibly toxic. They just delete part of the game. We are going to do Pokemon Unite Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week, I think is my plan. Yeah, mid-range decks are great. Interactive decks that lean on creatures are fantastic. So their last card's Magma Opus here. I think it's good for these archetypes to exist in Magic to appeal to a range of players. I just think when they're tier 1, it doesn't create a very good format on average. And this archetype's almost assuredly still tier 1 in Historic. This card with Gear Hulk is just so much. We have not had enough meaningful matches played post Brainstorm to give analysis of Historic from tournament data post Brainstorm ban. So once maybe after this weekend, if there's more Historic tournaments. You wanted to prey on the Jeskai deck. What's a good choice? I don't want to prey on the Jeskai deck, though, is the problem. So, like, people often defend these decks as like, well, Jeff, you just have to play a bunch of Thalias and these other cards, and you can be really... It's not that you can't be good against this archetype. Like, there's plenty of things that are good against this archetype. The thing you're missing is that I don't want to just be good against this. I want to brew and play Magic with creature-based decks. Slivers! My body is ready to lose to Jeskai Control of Slivers, but I'll smile on my face while we do it.
See ya.
Den of the Bugbear is pretty good, though. You know, fire this one up. I was actually, so, one of the reasons I was a little apprehensive to try Modern when Modern Horizons 2 spoilers, I was really concerned that actual factual counterspell and prismatic ending would make the control decks too good there, and I'm really glad that that format has shaken out in the way that it has. Like, how creature-centric Modern is at the moment is very reasonable. It's really sad that none of our Gear Hulk Cake cards survive Lightning Helix. I think I'm supposed to have Rest in Peace in this matchup, but maybe I am. Hey, Ninity, thanks for the sub-gifts. That's very generous of you. Good morning. We got a mulligan this with no 1 and 2 mana plays. Yeah, this is great. Huh? I think we keep and we bottom the Forbidden Friendship, and we hope to activate this as our 2 mana play. Memory lapse this. Man, I think this deck's just different than red-white midrange substantial. This is more of a linear aggressive deck, whereas red-white midrange is a midrange deck. You know, honestly, I'm just gonna activate this. I'm pretty sure they have memory lapse. Oh, you know, I should wait till damage happens. Now they could kill this before damage happens. Yeah, this was a mistake on my part. I missed 2 points of damage here. Because they're obviously holding up a counter spell as well. History of Benalia. So nice. We'll draw it twice. Did I say twice? I meant thrice. Alright, so next turn will Chandra into Archon. No Wrath of God for you. Are they dead on board? They're dead on board, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Shefet Dunes is really good. Yeah, cut some. If you're not playing copies of this, and honestly, it might be wrong that I'm not playing 4. It's real good. Texas. Opponent just out here living their best life with Grixis land destruction. So far, our matches today are making me feel like I made the right decision not playing a combo in this deck. Just like playing against Control decks, the Transmogrify plan is so bad. Alright, can we draw an untapped land to kill them?
Oh, today's my lucky day. It's over when I say it's over.
Alright, once more with feeling, chat. Untapped land. Yikes. Alright, I'm gonna cut my 5 mana spells during sideboarding.
You wanna play with fire, huh?
Charge! I guess I actually don't really have that many things to bring in. I guess I'll bring in cut 2 of these for 2 of these, but our main deck seems relatively proactive here. Yeah, maybe they're playing, like, discard, land destruction, and memory lapse, just like Grixis cards people hate. Looks like a whiskey jug. This is a, Pure Leaf lemon tea. It's delicious. This stream is in no way sponsored or endorsed by Pure Leaf tea, but Pure Leaf, if you're out there, it certainly could be. Let's talk. Thanks for the follow, Return to Bella. I do not have a sideboard plan for Grixis land destruction. That's true. Memory lapse is stone array adjacent if your opponent's missing land drops. That's saying sweet. Needs a couple more lands, but has 1 and 2 mana spells. Major, thanks for the follow. Just gonna pass here in case they have like an Anger of the Gods or something. They gave us Soul Herder and Restoration Angel. Oh, I'm so excited. We'll have a good card review today at the end. That's exciting. Restoration Angel's my gal, chat. I'm excited to resto me a Thragtusk. Oh, careful, dude. When you bump the table like that, it bumps my microphone.
Who's gonna win?
Maybe.
Daddy.
What's up?
Just
Why is their guy asleep? I don't know. Oh, because I have them turned off. Because sometimes they're annoying.
But it doesn't like you feel that it's not.
Let's befriend the goblins, chat. Charge! Untapped land, please. Du-du-du-du-du-du. Oh, is there Japanese Faithless Looting for purchase? Oh, I need Japanese Faithless Looting, because the normal Faithless Looting is god-awful. I need those. Beautiful. Beautiful. Do. I don't even care about the rest. I don't even really care that it's like the Japanese. I just like despise the Faithless Looting. That was the long con, chat. They gave us that Faithless Looting art knowing that they'd sell skins on Magic Arena. Look at this hand, chat. Just like, look at the real curves this deck has. You love to see it. Oh no, not my curve. Nice, nice. We take those. Yeah, our deck's just like this very fair, honest tokens deck. It's kind of sweet. I hope it's competitive. Looks like we finally found someone not playing control, maybe. I guess they could be mono black control. I really hope Historic Horizons pushes this format back in the pendulum of the direction of creatures. I would really like more of the games to be creature-centric and historic again. Be-do-do. Boo-do-do-do. Boo-do-do-do-do-do. Boo-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. No, it's the Pokemon that are uniting, Austin, not the Sliver players. You might have got that mixed up. You gonna murder my Usher? Read. Do-do-do-do-do. Befriend some goblins, chat. Got me. Whatever will I spend my mana on now that they've taken all the cards out of my hand, chat? Oh, wait. Utility lands. Utility lands, chat. Alright, hopefully we see a pair of goblins next turn. Or a Chandra. Or heroic reinforcements. This actually isn't terrible because it's a card that I can play while still activating the first fort. So I'm go a little wide here. I think this opponent's actually playing mono black aggro. Their draw is just a little awkward. It's like had a bunch of thought seizes and a spot removal spell instead of creatures. Like I bet they're like a Spawn of Mayhem deck basically. With like a Murderous Rider here or something. Or Heartless Act maybe. I make a token, I think. Are there any good historic decks with Grandmaster of Flowers? That card's too slow and fair for this format. That's something we're going to be responding with more and more as new cards get printed into Standard, is generally speaking, Standard cards struggle to have impacts in higher powered older formats, so... That's why, that's the difference with Standard. Like, Eldraine turned everything so far on its head because it was so pushed. That doesn't block. Shefet Dunes, ladies and gentlemen. Shefet Dunes. It's not Danny. Yeah, it's not even really good in Standard. It's accurate. Oh, alright, so some Deccan Stones and some Lightning Helixes sound good. Probably want to trim here. Lorehold Command's probably a little expensive at the top end of the curve. A little bit of that. Yeah, Historic Brawl's coming back. I'm super excited to play some more of that. Have a good mix of stuff to do. Historic with modern with Historic Horizons. Standard 22. Huh? Let's do this. We played a green-white life gain deck that played those cards when Magus on a day or two ago, and it's actually what we did a lot of our climbing with. Felt very reasonable in the normal life gain shell. Yeah, we can probably move on with our lives here when we draw another land next turn. Yeah, green-black doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I don't think. Oh, Lisette. You're sorry, I was confusing her with Tiny Dancer. We played Tiny Dancer. Yeah, Lisette's not good enough in Historic. That card's slow and bad. Tiny Dancer's a 2-drop you can collect a company into. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Oh, Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering, ladies and gentlemen. Magic the Gathering. Do do do. Do 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 do. Thanks for the follow, Demon. So, I think it's worth throwing away my Bugbear Den here for some points of damage and to flip my Adanto. Could be wrong, though. Okay. Okay. Man, chat. Drawing spells is busted. I'm gonna try and do that some more here. Deck the halls with bowels of spawn of mayhem. Fa la 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 la. So at my physical this morning, and I tweeted this too because it's funny, so I'm probably going to repeat this a few times, but my doctor's going through the list of questions, just like asking you things they typically ask you at a physical, and he goes, and so, how do we feel about the COVID vaccine? And I could tell just by like the way he asked the question compared to the ones before it, that like, especially the area where I live in surrounded by cornfields, that he frequently gets an answer to that question that he doesn't like, I would assume. And I was just like, oh, I'm a Democrat. And the way we both just laughed after I said that, I was just like, yep, yeah, he understands what I meant by that response. It's like, well, it was one of those, well, we're both gonna laugh here because that shouldn't be the answer to this question, but it is an answer and we both know what it means. Yeah, I don't know that I will ever personally get over the resentment that I feel towards the fellow people in my country that, like, pushed back on mask mandates and refused to get vaccinated and just have, like, refused to just, like, be a reasonable member of society to help society as a whole. And, like, I can't even imagine the level that, like, healthcare and medical professionals feel through all of this. Like, I don't even know anybody that's died personally, right? Like, I'm really fortunate through all of this, and it's just like, I can't even fathom. Oh, also, if I'm being honest, because I'm in the cornfield, part of the reason why I gave that response was because I wanted to gauge my doctor's response to me saying that to kind of gauge where they fell on things. And I was happy with their chuckle because they seem like a good person. I was happy to get the response I was looking for. Because you're right. The person in chat that commented that there are both nurses and doctors who have been anti-vax, you're not wrong. Is this lethal? This is probably lethal, huh? Because we have a haste creature and we can Shefet Dunes. They have to kill 2 things here to not be dead. This is a very good draw. I would wager more than not are in favor, but you're right. It's not 100% uniform. Man, the story of this set of games has just been Shefet Dunes, huh? Should I put a 4th Shefet Dunes in our deck? It's kind of just like won us every match we've played. All right, I would put a fourth Shefet Dunes in, so it's kind of been absurd. Ooh, speaking of brawl, this is a brawl. This is a brawler I want to build around, chat. This card seems kind of slow and clunky for standard, but it sounds like gas in brawl. We just like go 4-4 here? Probably. Yeah, that's rough, Jimmy. Yeah, we need more mandates. We need more. Apparently, Lollapalooza is going on in Chicago this weekend, and they're requiring people to provide proof of vaccination or a recent negative test. Which I don't even know that you need to mandate vaccination so much as you just need to make it really inconvenient for people that don't want to get vaccinated. Like, if you make people constantly get tests that are inconvenient and awkward, because like the COVID tests aren't pleasant if you haven't had one. My wife had one when she was pregnant before we went into the hospital. Like, they're not a pleasant experience. Hand's pretty good. Shefet Dunes are gonna be a little bit painful, but... Hey, Yellow Hat. Hope you had a great stream this morning. Thanks for the raid. I appreciate it. Thanks for the follow, not Tofu. We're hanging out playing some Historic this morning. We've been playing Red White Tokens here for about 45 minutes. We actually managed to do some climbing with it. We started at like 300 or 400, I think. Won a couple of matches to start. We're going to be playing this for a little bit, and then we're going to shift over to playing some Standard 22. If you're new to the channel, I stream full-time here on Twitch. We do a lot of Magic the Gathering, pretty much all constructed here. Historic, Standard 22, I do a little bit of Modern. Nassif's actually one of my favorite people to watch when I'm looking for Modern content. He's one of the greats for a reason. Thanks for the follow, Pet Thief. Any historic brews that have impressed me? No super standouts. I also haven't, like, been working on this format a whole ton, though, because it's about to get flipped on its head. I guess one stand... I like Tempered Steel, actually. I think blue-white... And that's a deck that's going to get a bunch of good new tools, like the new Esper Sentinel. But I think the Artifact aggro deck is underappreciated in this format. Blink Moth Nexus is a card that's already good on its own, and when you pair it with Tempered Steel, it goes kind of crazy. No Smith or Portable Hold, though. Pretty relatively linear in aggro. You play mostly the white creatures on the bottom end, and then the blue splash is for the 1/3 that makes something a 5/5, and then the thing that makes 2 Thopters to make things unblockable. I don't really know what this opponent is doing. They, like, played some Temple of Malices and conceded. Oh! Or are they playing... Do I assume they're playing Tibalt's Trickery? They're at like 86% and they played 2 Temple of Malice and conceded? Our deck doesn't really have any counterplay against Tibalt's Trickery. Would have boarded a couple Archons and a couple of Reidanes, but this is kind of a matchup where if they have it, we're just going to die, so we'll hope they don't have it. I work in a services with adults with disabilities. We're required to do weekly tests for work, so when the vaccine came out, vaccinated people didn't have to do the weekly test, and since then everybody's voluntarily gotten vaccinated. Yep. That's the type of thing. That's the perfect way to do it, Greg's. Like, give people the choice, but like people choose convenience when given the option, right? So don't say you have to do this, but also like make their lives easier if they do. This is actually really good against us, a 2-for-1. So maybe some kind of sacrifice deck with Footlight Fiends here. You can see a Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Stormfist Crusader. Interesting. Alright, well, we'd really like a land. Okay, so this is actually kind of good for us here, because now I get to block both of these. And these have to go to my face now. Well, that wasn't the land I wanted for Christmas, so I guess we'll just cast this now. And I'm going to hold these back to threaten to block this. We're definitely boarded wrong here with their early concession. I'm going to want my helixes and my rip-aparts. Ha! Stormfist Crusader enabling Spectacle's kind of sweet. Their deck's got some neat ideas in it. I'm gonna do this, just pass again. Obviously don't want to run my 1/1s into their 2/2. If our opponent doesn't start killing us soon, the history's into heroic reinforcement, so crunch the game out real quickly. Opponent must have had something come up. Sag. Where are you from, Jerry? Florida? Okay. Ah, Florida. Well, we found a 4th land. The question is, did we find an opponent? Yeah, Florida's pretty big. They have a pretty high population overall, right? Yeah, whenever people are like, well, if you don't like it, you should leave, like, relocating even state to state's a pretty big cost and hurdle in the United States for the average person. Is it the 3rd most populous? Yeah, moving across town sucks. We'll be doing Historic Horizons spoiler review at the end of my Magic segments every day. So we'll be taking a look at that in a little while. Yeah, it's just very frustrating, Camwell. The vaccines are being pushed to get government checks is just wild. Thank us, dude. Thanks for the 32 months. Welcome back. Well, it's not even just about relocation costs of, like, tangibly paying movers, man. Like, the process of getting new housing and, like, setting up all your stuff and packing it all back up. Like, there's a lot of, yeah, changing family, leaving family, changing jobs, etc. Although in some cases, getting away from people that you're blood related to ain't always bad. Are we gonna accidentally be a tryhard stream chat? We're rank 114. It's a standard 22 deck I'm gonna play. We're gonna play some blue-green ramp in standard 22. This is a pretty easy mulligan here with no place till 3. Down to 5 we go. This is where the Magic the Gathering happens, chat. It's a low variance, high skill hobby that I enjoy. Is this the same person we just played against, or is this a different... No, they were lower percentage, the other person we just played against, right? Kind of weird seeing a second Temple of Malice Dreadhorde Butcher deck in a row. Her name's different? Okay. Tradesies. No shock there is good for us. That could have gone either way since they knew the Raise the Alarm was coming. Madison's a really nice city. I've been up there a couple of times for Magic tournaments. Nice area for sure. Inquisition these, opponent. Alright, let's draw some spells, huh? Excuse me? Nothing really says peak non-rotating format like queuing up with red-white tokens and running into someone who's still playing Goblin Chainwhirler. It's like a nice, healthy reminder that if someone wants to mess you up, they can play cards that mess you up in formats like these. If they want to beat you, they're gonna beat you. Mazura, thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. Opponent's playing like red aggro splash discard spells, it looks like. So, I'm throwing away my knights to deal a couple of damage and flip my Adanto first fort here. I think we're probably dead regardless. We mulliganed to 5 this game and got discard spelled, but this is our chance to win. Involves getting this going and pushing what damage we can when we can. This has first strike, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know that I would say we're caught off guard so much as just like, you know, this card doesn't see any play, so like you don't really care about it when you're building your deck. It's not like, oh, I have to have a Chainwhirler counter while I'm building my tokens deck. It's like, well, we're dead, right? Not on board. If I draw Heroic Reinforcements next turn. Oath the Burr, thanks for the 16 months. Welcome back. They're not quite dead though, right? Because the Grim Lavamancer blocks and shoots something. And then I have to worry about dying on the backswing. I think we're still out of it. Because I have to leave blockers up here because of Grim Lavamancer. Thanks for the 4 months, Top Deck. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for the follow, Patrick. Okay, so now they're dead to Heroic Reinforcements a second time. Red-White Command would also kill them here. Man, that's so close to lethal, chat. It's so close to lethal. Rats. Imagine if we hadn't mulliganed to 5 that game. We just had like one more spell. We easily win that, right? Alright. I am supposed to bring in 6 mana Chandra here too. You want to cut Chandras against the deck with Goblin Chainwhirler. So that's very wrong. Because Chainwhirler is going to decimate our board quite frequently. And Chandra is one of our few ways to generate card advantage to overcome how the Chainwhirler is going to bully us around. So I definitely want all my copies of that in my deck. Wait, did I? What just happened? Well, I intended to keep the Helix and bottom this, but my brain did something else, or my clicking did something else? I feel like I might need to go back and check the tape and see. Did I click and drag the Helix? I mean, I must have, I guess. Okay. If we draw lands 3, 4, 5, we'll be okay. They discarded a Chainwhirler. Well, that doesn't bode well for the home team. That's fine. We didn't get to play Magic anyways, it doesn't matter. Yeah, they're probably playing the black reanimate spell for Chainwhirler. Is accurate. Bottom that one, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I will say this deck's been very good at having reasonable curves. Well, they didn't just announce that they're adding it back. They actually announced it yesterday after I stopped streaming. But yes, I saw that they're going to let people play Magic how they want to play Magic, and that's a good thing. We will be certainly working Historic Brawl back into my regular content schedule. My plans are, so the next Hoaglandia Open will be on August 15th. So August 12, 13, 14, we will be doing all historic content, regular historic on the channel to showcase lots of new decks before the tournament. And then on the 16th, the week after, we'll start working in a few different things. Alright, so definitely 5-color Niv here for the opponent. So, the Brawl queue is getting a trial basis, which means if people show up and play it, it will be permanent. Oh no, August 15th is EV Community Day? Foo. Alright, maybe I'm not streaming on the 14th. The Open's definitely the 15th, but I might take the 14th off so I can play one of the days of EV Community Day. I need shiny EVs, chat. Can't just expect me to not have shiny EVs. Hey, Amazonian, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a great stream today. Saw you were playing some Historic as well. Yes, they said in the article that if the queue is popular, we get to keep it, and if it's not popular, it leaves when rotation happens. So I intend to do my part and play Historic Brawl here on stream so we can hopefully keep the queue. Okay, yeah, fair. Thunk, 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 thunk. A lot of these decks don't play Sweeper's main, he says, before he gets Deafening Clarion. Thanks for the follow, Polar Bear. Good morning. Loosely cheesy pastries, I mentioned explicitly that, I went back and listened to Past Jeff, and Past Jeff wasn't really happy with the combo in the deck. And honestly, looking at the matches I've played today, I don't think the combo would have been good in any of them. The combo aspect is really bad against your opponents playing Interaction. You'd much rather be on this fair game plan against these decks with spot removal. Okay, so they're going to have a bunch of Deafening Clarions and stuff post-board. Honestly, I might just click submit here. Our deck's kind of pre-boarded for these interactive matchups. I have some Chandras for, the counterspell-based decks, but I think I'm just happy with my 2-for-1s and my solid curve here. Yeah, so in the past, we've played this deck with Transmogrify into Elish Dorn. And Elish, it's fine. It's good against creature decks. But I also think we kind of race creature decks okay anyways, so... One of the things that's sweet about Usher of the Fallen here is this is a 1-drop and a 2-drop. He says before he gets it Inquisitioned. I'm going to play this land out as opposed to the Sacred Foundry tapped here, because if I draw another Inspiring Vantage next turn, I want to be able to play it out untapped and have untapped lands up through 5. And even if they have Deafening Clarion next turn, we just go Usher into second reinforcements. Okay, sure. You got me. Whew! This card... I played this card a bunch when it was in Standard Chat. It's such a treat. Oh no! Don't play another sweeper control deck. How will I ever win the game now? Oh no! Not a third sweeper. Ugh. Won't somebody please think of the value? No, Smork. Tokens, Smork. Fantastic seems super reasonable. Both you meet a Pair of Goblins and Bugbear Den have been solid upgrades. The fact that the Bugbear Den can make tokens or power up your squad is really nice flexibility. Because it's like that push when you want the push, but it can also just add board presence when you need board presence. I think after playing with them, Den of the Bugbear is probably my pick for the best creature land, what we got out of the D&D set. I think we're supposed to mulligan this. Thanks for the follow, Resonator. Yeah, this is fine. I'd like a 2-mana spell, but I think it's pretty good. Another control deck. This format just has it's just mono control decks, chat. There's so many control decks. And I don't think this deck's terrible into control decks, but I really hope the needle gets pushed back towards more creature decks with his Jumpstart Historic Horizons. Yes, I think the black one's my pick for the second best. Menace is very good. So I'm just choosing not to play a spell here, because I can play this on their end of turn, which then they counterspell, and then we heroic reinforcements. And if they don't counterspell it, then they might counterspell this, and then we get to flip Legion's Landing. And flipping Legion's Landing is very good here against the control deck. Having 8 instant speed token makers has also felt very good. Alright, I'm gonna YOLO this, because I would like to try and flip Legion's Landing. They could have another Memory Lapse, they could have a Lightning Helix, but if they're like spending a Helix on my token here, that's also a win for me. Yes, there are a number of incidental graveyard things in Historic that card helps with for sure. Oh, I could have fired up Den to flip the Legion's Landing. That's probably a mistake. Let's play another one of these. We'll end step this. I'm going to play around this being a Wrath of God and then finding a white source.
thoughtfulness.
Alright, so their Azcans is flipping next term. That's, like, not too big of a deal. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. So can't kill them. So going to go ahead and kill their Narset here.
I shall miss your company.
So anything that's not a white source, I assume, is going in the bin here. Did you get me? Did you find it? Alright, Shockland. And they have enough mana to activate Azcanta this turn. Old Bugbear, let's go. Oh, you know what's worth noting here? I'd have killed my opponent if I would have only dealt 2 to the Narset. So I think my deck doesn't actually draw any cards formally. So hitting the Narset dead instead of only dealing 2 to it was definitely a mistake. If I lose this game, it was inside of my control to win it. We might still kill them because of our utility lands here, but I definitely shouldn't have killed the Narset like I did. Yeah, and there's a card that could drag them kicking and screaming back into this game, huh? Oh, that's true. Lorehold Command does technically draw cards. We force out the Opus by attacking. No, you're right. Yeah, I should attack first. You're correct. Got a couple of slops this game now.
I know what must be done.
This is the part where they have Lightning Helix number 3 and we die.
We need to move quickly.
They don't even have to draw it because this is going to untap 2 lands. Showdown of the Skalds doesn't help you kill your opponent. Yep. Lost that game because I fucked up. Should not have killed the Narset. The Torrential Gearhulk there meant that it didn't matter that I didn't attack first, but I definitely should not have killed the Narset, and that extra point really mattered. They would have been exactly dead instead of stabilizing at 1. Had we put the Narset to 1 instead of killing her. I think Chandra is much better card advantage than Showdown of the Skalds, because Chandra can provide extra mana for you, as well as being utility that plays to the board the turn you play her. So I think she serves the type of role that Showdown fills much better. Thanks for the follow, Copperknot. Welcome to the channel this morning. And again, this is a 1-drop and a 2-drop, which is one of the reasons why it's such a good 1-drop here. Fills our curve out very elegantly in a hand like this. I think this deck's actually got a pretty decent control matchup. One of the things you have to remember about Jeskai control is regardless of what you're playing, Jeskai control feels bad to play against, so... Our deck, it recovers from sweepers pretty well for a creature deck. We have a lot of utility lands that can give them a hard time. As far as all of the boxes you want to tick for being decent against control, we tick all of them. You find the untapped land here to heroic reinforcements on 4. It's not just the platinum rank, Sufa. Control, historic as a whole, is a format that has a ton of control decks in it. So we'll go ahead and pass here. And if they have land sweeper, we'll get to make a pair of 1/1s. Honestly, we're making a pair of 1/1s at their end of turn regardless of what they do. Got me. Still hoping to draw that 4th untapped land. And again, like we were just talking about, winning games through sweepers and our deck recovering well. Our mix of haste threats and instant speed plays make us less bad against sweepers. Val Zuan, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Alright, number 2. Untapped red for Bugbear. Sedge. That's fine. I can't say I disagree with you, Wombat Combat. Ims, thanks for the follow. Good morning. Alright, and I think we are in a spot now where we just want to encourage them to sweep the board again if they have it. So I'm going to go Legion's Landing into Usher here. And then if they sweep, we can still end step raise the alarm. Okay, so we're looking to fade Mizzix's Mastery or land Jeskai or land Gearhulk. Why do you feel bad for people having to do their job? Please concede. Alright, now you gotta try to win one on the draw. No 1-drop, which is sad, but the rest of the hand is good. Are there any other good 1-drops we could play in this deck? I really feel like I'd like a 3rd good 1-drop. Right on time, Legion's Landing. Welcome to the party. Yeah, there was a post on Twitter the other day where people were talking about their salary ranges they made in different jobs, and someone posted that they moved from a position at Wizards to a similar position at Bungie, and they were making 80% more money at Bungie plus bonuses. I think we Legion's Landing, and then we'll end step raise the alarm here, because next turn's the Wrath of God turn. If they sweep these 3, this into this next turn flips the Legion's Landing on us. It is not. Yeah, they said they were making like 80 grand at WotC, and they were making like 130 or 140 grand plus bonuses at Bungie. Rise, Prometheus! Thanks for the Prime. There's a ton of great people you can send that to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for supporting my content this month with it. Welcome back. Is Beaumont Courier a reasonable one drop? Yeah, maybe. Kinda like the idea of Beaumont Courier. I like me some card advantage. Yeah, Riss isn't a very good card. So I'm going to Chandra into Forbidden Friendship. Because this way, if they have Lightning Helix, we still flip the landing. And Aether Gust is sad, but it means we flip the landing, which is really what we wanted to do this turn. Darn Zoomers these days, asking me what my dodgeball reference is from. Rabble, 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 rabble.
You're going down.
Hey, Chandra, one of your finest spells, please.
This
Oh, baby. Does Torch of Defiance finding the Awakened Inferno count as Chandra playing with herself? It's called a glow up. Okay. All right, so I definitely want to play Awakened Inferno here. The question is, what do I want to do with them? I think I'm going to start by attacking for 4 and see what they do. What do we think of Torch of Defiance downtick for 4, then do this? That's probably wrong. I think I want to threaten the ultimate here. I think I want to go +2 for mana, so I can cast this while holding up Raise the Alarm.
today's my lucky
And then we'll
day.
put an emblem on them with this if they don't have another Aether Gust. And even if they have Aether Gust here, that's an Aether Gust that's targeting this and not this one ready to ultimate.
I've got other things to burn. No pressure.
No pressure. All right, a little bit of pressure. Under pressure. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm gonna do this at end of turn so they can't counterspell me. They have Deafening Clarion. They could hit my Chandra, but if they don't have Clarion, we're in a very good spot. Yep, goodbye, friend. And remember, that was a match that we could have basically won 3-0 had I played better. 1, 2, 3. It's just tokenometry. What could it be? That's actually pretty sweet. I'm glad we revisited it. Felt very solid overall. We never got a chance to actually use this card. It seems like it's fine, but I also feel like I just want something else lower on the curve. Beaumont Courier could be okay. Another card I saw someone else playing is there's a lot of control in this format, and maybe Paladin class is a card that's playable. It could also just be right to like have another 1-mana creature though. We could play something that grinds a little bit, like Token class. We could just play something that survives sweepers, like Hunted Witness. Beaumont Courier is probably worth trying. I don't think I'd cut all of these, but just seeing how much better our draw was when we had a 1-drop, I want at least 2 more proactive 1-drops so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4 more consistently. I think I like the idea of Beaumont, but I think there's a few different things you could try to fill this last slot in. I like it. All right. No, I want something like Mana Tide's adorable, but I want something proactive that I just like play on the first turn of the game and then curve into other things.